DMX ex-wife, Tashera Simmons, claims DMX girlfriend sent a warlock to her home and says her pastor told her a warlock is a head witch. Same hardly initiated YouTube podcast show. Let's get into that. I don't like to get into none of this shit because this shit gets spooky. I don't even want to fuck with this type shit. God forbid, all that wash me in the blood, all of that, man. I don't want to get into any of this shit, but let's watch what she had to say about it.
But all of a sudden, just so angry at me. And I threw him out that day. He told my son, yeah, you the man of the house. And my son always talks about that because he said it shifted something in him too. But he never came back after that. So now I'm like, you know what? I'm getting into God. I'm like, okay, we're still married. I'm going to pray. I'm going to...
You kicked me out the house too. I understand why a nigga ain't just going to come back. Like, I got kicked out. But I understand the other side too. Like, nigga, I live here. This is my family. I'm trying to make it work. I'm coming back home, baby.
It shifted something in him too. But he never came back after that. So now I'm like, you know what? I'm getting into God. I'm like, okay, we're still married. I'm going to pray. I'm going to fast. I'm starting to learn about a bunch of things. And I've always seen spirits since I was a kid. So I always feel presence, not in my home, but I would always feel a presence whenever I'm at somewhere. But I'm going to sleep every night and a presence is coming in my room. I feel it. I wake up, I'm thinking it's one of my kids and I'm looking around. I'm like, it's 3:15. It was happening for like a whole week. So I called my pastor and I said, I keep feeling like it's a presence coming in my room. And I'm thinking it's my kids, but I don't see anything. She said, start to say, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. So I just kept saying that every time. And I could tell it left. But I was like, am I bugging or is something really coming in here? So 30 days in, like a month, I'm laying down. My kids is always up at night. They playing music. I feel the presence come in, but I'm thinking it's my son because that's what it feels like. Because I'm half asleep. That's when I feel it. I'm like, you know, when somebody come in your room, you know.
You know exactly.
They hit me on my foot, so I'm like, because my foot was out the cover. So I'm like, why Xavier playing with me? I come out the cover, and it's a Spanish man with his hair slicked back, looking at me with this smirk I will never forget. He was like, I was like, this is a spirit? I was like, what the hell? And then when I threw my cover up, like, you know how you get out the bed and he was still there. So I ran to my door and I was like, Xavier's a man in my room. He said, he ran in my room and there's nothing there. He was like, come on, Ma, you saw a spirit? I said, no. It looked like I saw him clear. I was like, this was a man. Like, and then we started thinking, I was like, this is a dead of winter. I'm on the second floor. You would have heard the screen open. You would have heard him jump out my window. I said, this was different. I called a pastor. She said, I'm coming up with a prayer warrior. I'm not going to tell her nothing. I'm just going to come up and we're going to pray. She came in, this old woman. She just came. Hi, how you doing? My kids was in school. She said, let's hold hands and pray downstairs. When she was finished, there's this big picture of me and X on the wall. She was like, is that your husband? I said, yeah. She's like, she looked around. She said, there's a woman that he's with. She said, are you with him? I said, no, we're separated. She said, there's a woman that he's with. She sent a warlock here.
Wow.
I was like, what? What is a warlock? She said, it's a head witch. I said, why? We're not even together. She said, because the power of a praying wife is there's no prayer like that. She said, and they want to put fear in your spirit so you could stop praying for him. Because I was praying, bind us together. You know what I'm saying? Come against any evil spirits. Like I was praying, fasting, turned down my plate. Like, you know what I'm saying? And they were mad. They said, nah, we got to shut her down.
Because you were still invested.
I was still invested because I was like, okay, maybe I could deal with it this way. Everybody's telling me that, you know, God is the strongest. He's the highest. He's this and that. Prayer works. You know what I'm saying? Because it was early on in now I'm a prayer warrior. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't play with me. I'm ready. Like, what's up? Like, so when that happened, though, I was like, she said, listen, they will never be able to come back here. Read Psalms 27, 37, and 91 for 30 days. She said they will never be able to walk back.
All right. I don't really know what to say after this one. This is going into like the supernatural, whether this is one of those things, whether you believe or you don't believe, it's where your opinion is going to be formed. I do believe in supernatural. I don't think that's so far-fetched of a thought. Do I have any proof? Do I have any scientific proof? You know, niggas love science. I don't have any of that. So my opinion may not be valuable to somebody, but there's someone out there that is agreeing with me and understand where I'm coming from. Although I'm not fully invested into some shit like this, obviously, because I haven't experienced it. I don't like to discredit anybody's experiences. So this young lady here, Miss Tashera Simmons, I'm not saying it didn't happen for her or happened to her, because I would think this is something that is very hard to lie about. But then I always bring it back to, she is selling this book right here. Dying to Sell is the name of it also. Dying to Sell. Tashera Simmons. Dying to Self. The inspiring self. Let's see. Let's check it out. This is her book. 5 ratings so far. It came out in March. In Dying to Self, paperback by Tashera Simmons. In Dying to Self, I can't even speak. In Dying to Self, a journey of renewal invites readers to embark on a transformative spiritual journey that promises not only personal growth, but a profound rebirth. The inspiring health self guide dives deep into the process of dying to self. Concept deeply rooted in letting go of the old to make room for the new. I fuck with that. I never read any self-help book or anything like that, but I do believe in to let the new become its own thing and to set its roots in who you're gonna be for the next foreseeable future, or who you want to be. You gotta let go of a lot of old shit, man. That's just facts. It might be shit that you don't want to. The Warlocks, witches shit, I'm not against that. I'm not saying it didn't happen to her, because I have, we all have our own scenarios or situations about stuff that we know or heard about or, believe in. That's to each their own.